Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back. And yes, it is the finale, but as you know, more what ifs are coming soon, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy them, guys. But yes, I'm here with the final part of What If Naruto Was Toji with the 8 inner gates. I just want to thank you all for your support, all the likes, all the comments, everything that this video has received. Don't forget to go ahead and comment your favorite ideas on any of the latest posts, and I'll jot them down for future use, guys. And yeah, I indeed have 3 more channels. All the links will be down in the description, so go ahead and check each and every one of them out and become a part of the Animaking family. So without further ado or wasting more time, let us jump into this final episode. Let us begin now, guys. So, to do a bit of a recap for the last part that we left off. Years pass by as everyone grew. Tsunade learning to trust Sasuke once again after his betrayal of the village and everything he apologized for. Naruto has changed a lot. He was finally able to access and accept mental health, as that wasn't something that he was usually fond of, but for the past 8 months that Orochimaru had him, his mind went through a lot. So, following Tsunade's orders, he went to Inoichi, and the man was able to help him a lot. As years passed by, Naruto started to develop feelings for Temari, as he once questioned Sakura on Temari's behavior towards him, surprised when Sakura said that she liked him. So Naruto questioned Tsunade about a visit to the Sand Village. Gaara had seen it with his own eyes, as he did not have to tell Naruto that his sister's safety was something that he cared about greatly, and if she's harmed, well, things would take a bad turn for the person. She got back from her mission not expecting this, but she showered up and they went to get something to eat. Unfortunately though, their conversation was interrupted by the Akatsuki making their move. Believing that the Kazekage was going to be an easy target, what they didn't expect was for Naruto to be here, as he wouldn't allow Gaara to be captured, and now that the Akatsuki was close, they would take them once and for all. Naruto was able to knock Madara out as they capture him. Knowing that they travel in pairs, Naruto made his way after Sasori. Their fight did not last for too long. Sasori was skilled and powerful, but Naruto was a monster. After all was said and done, Temari kissed Naruto, having wanted to do that for a very long time now. Konoha did not go easy on Madara. They stripped the information from his mind, coinciding with Jiraiya's information about the Rinnegan. However, Naruto refused to let him go alone, saying that he would simply go if he did not allow him. Jiraiya had no choice but to accept it. Knowing that they were 2 of her best, Tsunade believed that they could handle any threat. She signed off on it, but she wasn't happy though because she was concerned for their safety. But it was better to travel this way than a pack that would give them away. So the 2 warriors head towards the Land of Rain. It didn't take them too long to get there, but gathering information did, as they split apart in the village. But Nagato was aware of them. While that was going on, Jiraiya contacts sent word back to Konoha. Itachi was spotted. A team was gathered, Sasuke amongst them. He had proven himself enough and Tsunade. She trusted him. Thus the team made their way towards finding Itachi. The group was interrupted by none other than Kisame, as Sasuke was allowed to go ahead so that he could face off against Itachi. As a brutal battle took place between the brothers, who haven't seen each other in some time now, and the both of them were working out a lot, as the both of them had a different goal for one another. The masked man also interrupted, stopping the others from passing by Kisame, ensuring that Sasuke and Itachi battle go uninterrupted. While that was going on, the Six Paths of Pain descended upon Naruto and Jiraiya, as Naruto was able to lure majority of them away while Jiraiya took care of the summoning creatures, most of the dogs. Naruto went toe to toe with all of them. They tried to best him, trying to use Universal Pull, Almighty Push. They tried to cover him with stones and bury him in the sky. But Naruto was simply above it all, his power stretching beyond anything that they could think of. He rained destruction, a Sekudeku. He brought the massive structure down. He wiped away all the Six Paths of Pain on his own. With that said and done, it shifted, as Jiraiya knew where the original was. So him and Naruto made their way. However, Zetsu informed Obito about what was going on. Refusing to allow the Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki to win, Obito decided to pull a drastic move. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across to the place, check out for yourself. So let us jump right into this brand new and finale. Let's begin now guys. This episode begins with Temari, after confessing by kissing him, showing just how much she cared. She was afraid. She might have put on a brave face. Yes, she trusted his strength. She trusted how powerful he was. But she was still afraid for him. Scared that, just after opening up, she would lose him. And that was the last thing that she desired. Yet, she could not shake this feeling that something bad was going to happen. It would not leave her, but she told herself that it was just nerves. It was just her being paranoid, because in no time Naruto will return safe, and she will hug him and kiss him again. As she smiled at the thought, far away from Konoha at the moment, the battlefield was left in destruction. As Sasuke Uchiha looked down, lying there, dead, was the one that he hunted, was the one that he was willing to give everything up for to kill. And now, looking down at his lifeless brother, what was this feeling Sasuke thought? He heard them. He heard the voice of Sakura as his team made their way. But his body gave out. He fell, crumbling down, passing out right beside his brother. As the both of them lie there, the rain pouring down from the heavens. What they cause, the destruction in their wake. Kakashi warned the team about the black flames to not get close or allow it to touch them. Might Guy was also there, a bit bruised and his clothing a bit torn, but on the better side, considering that he just faced off against Kisame and won. Meanwhile that was going on though, the masked man had fled, his fear of losing the Rinnegan greater than his love for any of the subordinates to follow his words, because without the Rinnegan, everything would be pointless. They've been monitoring Naruto. They've seen how he fought. Toe to toe with Nagato, there was a 90% chance that the Rinnegan would be destroyed, and he couldn't allow that. Thus, at the Land of Rain, within the tower, the atmosphere was tense. Conan's finger merely twitched, and he noticed. He was ready to lash out. Jiraiya noticed that. He stepped up, shocked by the sight of his former student, as he witnessed Nagato true form. Knowing that, Naruto would not hesitate to rip him out of his mechanical walker. Jiraiya tried to calm the situation, but before he could open his mouth though, 3 explosions went off at the same time. As Naruto looked down, his reaction time much faster than Jiraiya's. He saw the flooring breaking apart. The entire tower was being destroyed. The size of the explosion would wipe everything out. The masked man was counting on that. He was very assured that this would not destroy the Rinnegan because Nagato wouldn't allow it. As Nagato was still breathing, thus, the eyes would survive. Even if the Jinchuriki were to die, it would take some time for him to be brought back. The tail beast, that is, but the Rinnegan could not. However, as Jiraiya, reacting slowly, trying to shout to them, Naruto grabbed his hand, the 8 gates flickering in under seconds. Naruto moved. As him and Jiraiya were pulled out of the building, he kicked the very air itself. The pressure bouncing the both of them away. However, Naruto wasn't the only fast one there. Nagato brought up a force around him and Conan, releasing and creating a force to keep them safe. His eyes pulsating, but several other explosions went off, like they were in the lining of the very building itself. As Zetsu retreated from the building, this was their plan. Nagato, he used his eyes, which were already straining from the amount of power that he just used to fight Naruto. You could see the problem as the blast started to get through. Conan screamed as a shrapnel ripped into her shoulder. His eyes pulsated as blood started to rush out, as he pumped so much more chakra, straining his body, straining his eyes. Finally, as the explosion started to die down, however they were falling, Conan thrust her hand out as it dematerialized, creating a flat surface of paper beneath them. As they were falling down below, Nagato, the force being dropped, Zetsu emerged. Conan shouted, but Zetsu, he went through the mechanical walker. Nagato tried to fight him, but he was simply too weak. Zetsu's very DNA seemed to wrap into Nagato's flesh. Obito, watching from the scene, confused. What the hell was Zetsu doing? This wasn't a part of their plan. The next moment though, Nagato's hand lashed out. He grabbed Conan by the head and tore her soul out clean. No hesitation. He then jumped out of the mechanical walker, all the rods bursting from his back. Flying away as they did, Zetsu was very special. His origins tied to the mother of chakra. The connection between him and the Rinnegan was perfection. For the first time, Nagato stood but not on his own. For the first time in a long time, as Zetsu took full control, him ingraining himself into the Rinnegan itself, Nagato lost all control. Obito moved across the city, landing within the ruckus. Zetsu, what the hell are you doing? He shouted. Naruto and Jiraiya both landed, returning back to the scene. The explosion over. Confused by this new turn of events, but it was obvious as his cloak was on full display. "We've wasted enough time." Zetsu spoke up. "You were given one job, one order, and yet, so far, you have failed miserably," said Zetsu. Now, all of them witnessed as Zetsu fully incorporate himself into Nagato's flesh. As his hair turned bright red, you could see the health of his body being restored by the power of the Rinnegan Zetsu, wielding it perfectly. "This couldn't have been possible without you, Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki," Zetsu said with a smirk, as he gazed towards Naruto. "Well, I suppose you deserve the respect by me calling you by your name, Naruto Uzumaki." Nagato was so frail and weak in his final moments that it was easy to take control. "You see, I'm very special when it comes to the Rinnegan, and now I will do what should have been done in the first place. Bring back the one person that can actually get things done," Zetsu said, knowing that there was still some problems, and him utilizing the body of Nagato would not help them achieve their goals. Zetsu raised a hand and the entire place, as a violent, terrifying almighty push was released. Once again, Naruto's superior speed won out as he moved along with Jiraiya. Obito sucked himself away in a swirling vortex as Zetsu used the opportunity to flee. He fled. Obito did not return, having no need for that, but he knew exactly what Zetsu was going to do. After all, it was his will. It was that man's will, and he was right. Meanwhile, "What the hell just happened?" said Naruto. "I'm not quite sure," said Jiraiya, "but there is one thing that we do know. We need to get out of here," he said, as he could sense a lot of ranged shinobis heading this way. The last thing they wanted was a war between the villages, because them believing that they killed their leader. Jiraiya gazed back towards the ruckus, the destruction. Konan dead body right there. He couldn't save her. They left. Time skip. Everything seemed calm as Naruto and Jiraiya returned back to the village. Tsunade was happy. Both teams were successful. Naruto was shocked when he heard that they found Itachi. Not only that, Sasuke got his revenge. But when he came back though, it was the Temari. She did exactly what she said, as she planted a wet kiss on his lips. He held her. He was happy, hearing that not a single member got hurt, that the team was successful, and they were one step closer in eradicating the remainder of the Akatsuki. As they combined their information, the so-called masked man, who pretended to be a fool to them, seemed to be much bigger in the organization. Kakashi had noticed that because he saw it, the Sharingan under the mask. However, they had another problem. The man that wielded the Rinnegan was now being controlled by some black substance, who seemed to be even worse off than him, and they had no idea what was his goal. Naruto and Temari, there wasn't much to do as they enjoyed their stroll around the village. Unfortunately though, their peace would not last for long. An envoy arrived. They were summoned to the office, both of them immediately. Time skip. Temari was speechless. As she walked, her legs shaking, she collapsed, but Naruto caught her. Destruction. The tower was destroyed. the tower of the Kazekage. However, it was a solemn look on Konkuro's face, that broken gaze, the crying of their people as the dead body of Gaara lay, along with several others. Back at Konoha, news started coming from all over. Jiraiya, sensing something much worse coming. The Akatsuki was slow, unable to retrieve the tail pieces due to the interference of Konoha and others. But now, in just a matter of hours, they took out the Kazekage. Word started to move from all over. Other tail pieces were being taken. Jinchuriki is left dead. Tsunade immediately sent word. She sent word to the last two, the Raikage and the Tsuchikage, receiving word from Konoha surprised Oniki, but he was too late. The Raikage had his brother. He believed that this was a threat they could handle, but yet this warning from Konoha chipped at his senses, leaving him paranoid. Perhaps it was best that B was sent to the island. However, they weren't dealing with any ordinary shinobi here. Not to mention, they were dealing with someone that could find the tail pieces wherever they go now. It was bad. Really bad. The Raikage ventured towards a mountain where his brother lived, as Killer B was the same as always, rapping and gnawing his older brother. However, boom! Something fell from the sky. It was abnormal, powerful in every single way. The Raikage turned to face it, as he gazed upon a face that he's seen before. However, only photographs, statues. This man was supposed to be dead, standing there. In all of his might was the ghost of the Uchiha, Madara Uchiha. It's impossible. The letter from Konoha, now becoming more, terrifying. The words, as he gazed towards this man that defied natural order, because he stood there in flesh and blood. Across from him was another that the Raikage wasn't, he didn't know who this one was. Right here, his left eye closed, but the right eye was showing the Rinnegan. That's impossible. Kumo had all of the tools of the Sage of Six Paths. They knew a lot more about the history, a lot that they kept to themselves. So yes, he knew what the Rinnegan looked like. But also in one of Madara's eyes was a Rinnegan as well. In his right, a Sharingan in his left. Zetsu. He had taken complete control of Nagato. The resurrection of Madara had took a lot out of Nagato, but Zetsu could sustain him. Another reason why reviving Madara was necessary, because he couldn't do it on his own. Even with Nagato's body, he had immediately painted Obito in a unflatterable light. Obito was hiding, afraid, knowing that his failure would lead to his downfall. But Madara did not seem to care. He was having fun. Zetsu knew the location of the tail pieces. In hours, Madara, he raced across the skies, collecting them like they were trophies, dominating anywhere he went. Zetsu told him about the one that was able to defy law and order and access the 8 inner gates without death. Madara was reminded of his past, when an entire platoon of his people, it was the Uchihas, known to be the mightiest back then, was eviscerated by a single man who did not wield ninjutsu or genjutsu. He was a child at the time, but that is when he first heard of these inner gates. It never quirked his fancy. His physical prowess was always so intense, combined along with his visual prowess, that it never really sparked anything inside of him. The Raikage, on the other hand, told B to stay back. Well, at least you look like you will put up a better challenge than the other ones, Madara said, chuckling as he slipped into his stance. Shall we dance? While he did that, Zetsu went through hand sign and summoned the Gedo statue. A big part around their quickness of collecting the tail pieces. While that was taking place, Naruto stood as he was within the sand village. Temari was heartbroken. The people were crying as Naruto remembered Gaara's words. How he said that he helped him. Because before, the people never would cry. They would actually celebrate. Someone approached him. Are you concerned for the Kazekage's demise, or is it out of your own concern for the hand of his sister? Naruto turned towards the old woman, having seen her before. Confused by her words. Was she trying to anger him? But he remained calm though. Gaara was a friend, said Naruto. Lady Chiyo looked up towards Naruto. He said that I was a big part of changing him. That I helped him. I never knew the impact I had on him until some time ago. He put everything aside and became a leader. His people loved him. Look how they mourned for him. He was supposed to live, to survive. I was supposed to end this threat, but I failed, said Naruto. And because of my failure, he's dead. He clenched his fists. However, Lady Chiyo chuckled, once again confusing Naruto. It seems like I am the one behind time, she said, as she stepped forward. Many people respected her. She was one of the great elders of the Sand. Temari was crying as Chiyo placed a hand on her shoulder. Don't fret, girlie, she said. You will speak to your brother again. Chiyo sat down. Some of them, the older ones, understood what she was doing. However, even as she grew weak, Naruto saw that. Her chakra started dim. Naruto could feel it. It wasn't just chakra, life force. He stepped forward and extended his hand. I can help, he said to her. She looked up towards him, sweat running down her forehead. Majority of them had no idea what she was doing, given the fact that their Kazekage was already dead. Her older brother, she had already spoken to him, so he said nothing or tried to stop her. Naruto placed his hand down where she assigned him to. As she smiled towards him, it seems the future isn't great. She was cut off as she saw it. As the small amount of chakra that she had going, it was Naruto's life force, while his own chakra was inaccessible by him. His body, he was special. She's always heard this. She's seen him on numerous occasions. But this, the very air itself seemed to tremble by the amount of power that surface, raw, intensity, as it seemed to also strengthen her, causing her body to seem to expel almost everything at once. Like she had the strength pushed back in her, so she could do the process much faster. However, the process, it took her life, while Naruto's life force was strong enough to strengthen her so she would not fall before the process was finished. She would still die. He raised a hand, stopping her from hitting the floor, as he could no longer feel any life within her. Gaara twitched, shocking many. They gasped in surprise. They're Kazekage. He was alive. Meanwhile, the Raikage was rushed to the infirmary. His chest lay open. Some of his major organs damaged. He was unconscious, his body burned and broken. The thing was, Madara was having fun. Yes, he was having fun. And he let loose. The entire mountain valley where Killer Bee lived was gone. Half of that area was split down the middle. An impossible feat. Not even their own leader possessed strength like that. Their village was rattled. Their forces cut down as they tried to intervene. Their strength, meaningless. Their power, nothing in front of that man. He took Killer Bee and threw the body away like it was nothing, drawing out the tail beast. Such a monster. Emergency surgery took place immediately. Medical ninjas, doctors working around the clock to save the Raikage. Organ transplant, everything that they had to do. They had to save him. As they got blood from all over. Time skip. As Gaara stood in front of Naruto, awake, back on his feet, they honored Chiyo for her sacrifice. Being one of the only ones to know that technique, willing to give her life up for their new leader. However, a pressing matter was there. As Gaara was having the life sucked out of him, that man, those eyes, the one with the red hair was powerful, but the threat was real as they thought. Madara Uchiha, a walking anomaly. His strength is greater than anything I've ever seen. His force, unquestionable. Gaara worried for the safety of Naruto, knowing that he would come for him. He said it himself. You are the first. So I will go down the line and have some fun while I'm doing it. Nothing worked. The sand, their weapons, nothing. He was a one-man army. A literal death carving through their village. Temari Heart started a race, knowing that this monster was coming for Naruto. However, despite the warning, despite the tale, despite the name, there wasn't a single ounce of fear. If anything, his hand shook in excitement. Something that Naruto has done well to control. However, Gaara realized that he had to let it free. He gripped Naruto's hand, forcing Naruto to face him. I remember when we fought. That bloodlust, that rage inside of you that you've managed to quell over the past couple of years. You can't afford to do it now. Even while his strength was able to overcome me, I could tell that he wasn't trying all that much. So when you do face this monster and not alone, you have to let loose. Gaara said, as he was one of them that knew about the problem that Naruto faced with his bloodlust. Naruto could see the concern in Temari's eyes. He took her hand. There's nothing for you to worry about. I promise you, he said. And that look in his eyes. I will not lose. His words somehow rallied everyone that was in the room. Kankuro, some of the others, as they felt it, that he would not fail, even though this monster was out there. Time skip. Naruto returned back to the village. Sasuke was finally out of the hospital. Konoha ninjas had been sent to Taki to inform them of the situation, but they were too late. Half of Taki was destroyed, the waterfall being split. All they spoke about was this monster. Jiraiya was there. Tsunade was there. They knew that they should think about the possibility of sending Naruto somewhere to hide, but how could they took their greatest weapon off the table? One of their strongest. Not to mention the possibility of him letting them do that. Might Guy was there though as he slammed a hand on Naruto's shoulder, telling him that they will stop this fiend together. As word was sent from the border, he was coming. Tsunade started to shout orders. Everyone started to be evacuated to safety, as most of that had already been happening, but it was putting on a speed request right now. As he walked, donning in his armor, behaving like a omnipotent being that could not be stopped, Zetsu close by, controlling Nagato like he was nothing but a puppet, a husk of the former man that he once was. Envoys were already there. As they gazed towards him, he decided to make a show. The heavens themselves seemed to quake as flames seemed to block out the sun itself. Majority of them had to force a retreat as Madara scorched the forest. Naruto, Kakashi, Guy, Sasuke, Temari, several others made their way. As this unstoppable force was coming, Jiraiya not too far behind, Tsunade staying behind giving out the rest of the orders. They would not allow this man to win, despite being backed by all the tail beasts. Somehow Konoha would prevail. Naruto stood at the head of the group as Madara saw him. His arms folded as he stood on the scorching land. "I've heard of you, boy," he said. "I've heard how fast you move. I've heard how you stood to the sun without becoming ashes. I have returned, and I suppose you would be my ultimate test. The others, I have to say, has been a disappointment," Madara said. Temari clenched her fists, anger coursing through her. He was talking about her brother. Speaking of Gaara, a large troop was making their way. Sand ninjas, Gaara leading them, as they were heading towards the Leaf Village to help, to face off against this monster. This was the final fight because if he won, if he took Naruto, it was over. Let us not waste our time. You're the only one here that poses a threat, that can actually give me a good dance, he said. So, this shall be it. You and I shall fight. The rest will stay behind. Immediately, Madara started to see their opinions being raised. However, he flexed his power. The sky trembled as he summoned a massive, colossal armor. It towered over them. It swept its hand and created a massive gust so powerful that several people were sent to the far distances. Naruto did not move, the power towering over them. This village was my home once, but if I am bothered by the nonsense of retaliation by your numbers, I will exterminate it like I did many others in my time. Do you really want to put that on your consciousness? Then again, you will lose your life right after, but at least I'm giving you a fighting chance, he said to Naruto. So what do you say, boy? Tsunade stepped up. Leave this village, or you will die here. Madara chuckled. The offspring of Hoshirama. I must say, you are truly the greatest disappointment I've seen so far. To know that you hail from someone like Hoshirama Senju and yet you don't even possess the Mokiton. Pathetic woman, he said. Naruto placed a hand on Tsunade's shoulder. You can't, she said. Don't worry, I can win, said Naruto. She looked into his eyes, concern edged across her face. "It's a promise. I won't allow anything to happen to the village," he said, smiling at her. She looked towards the others as Madara flexed his power, trying to intimidate them. This would give them time for Gaara and his people to arrive, as she whispered to Naruto. But Naruto did not plan on doing that. He was going to kill Madara himself. Naruto turned as Temari stepped up towards him. She kissed him without hesitation. In front of everyone, Sasuke was angry. He wanted to help, as much as Naruto saved him, even Guy as well. However, Madara respected the grounds, telling Zetsu to stay back. It would just be the two of them. Thus, Naruto stepped forward. They walked like they were old friends, stepping away from the border of Konoha as they moved through the trees. Madara seemed to be happy. After all, this would be the only fight that would actually bring him some joy. And he doesn't want everything to be over just yet, without actually testing himself. After all, he's been dead for a long time now. Kakashi Hatake turned his gaze to the horizon as he felt something, but he saw nothing. In the far distance though, he was there, Obito, hiding ever since Madara returned. Zetsu had betrayed him, as he was out there hiding. Finally, after Naruto judged the distance long enough, there was no talking. Naruto stood there, remember what Gaara said. As he allowed the feeling to take him, Madara saw the smile on Naruto's face, and he felt it. "Amazing. You are just like me," he said. "Enough talking," said Naruto. "What did you say it was?" "Yeah, let's dance." Madara grinned ear from ear. Several others in the background, watching from as far as they could. The both of them moved. When they clashed together, it was like thunder booming. The sound, as the ground was ripped to shreds. With each blow, the ground was torn apart. Tremors split through the earth. It was chaotic. It was frightening. It was deadly. The battle intensified as Madara went through hand sign. Fire style. Majestic destroyer flames. Flames that were hot enough and wide enough to wipe away entire platoons. Was met by Naruto's forceful punch. Naruto split the air. You could see the wave traveling. The flames were split to left or right. Madara sped through, his fists slamming within Naruto's gut. But Naruto beat back the pain and crushed his temple within Madara's. The Uchiha stumbled as Naruto kicked his feet and launched him into the sky. But Madara grabbed his arm as they flipped. They smashed through the earth, tearing through the remaining trees. Naruto opened the first gate and kicked Madara through the ground. The upper half of his Susanoo raised, but Naruto vanished, reappearing in the third gate and kicked through the back. Blood flew from Madara's mouth as he flipped several times. He looked at the blood as he wiped it. However, he only seemed to grow more intrigued. His power seemed to quadruple within that moment as he came at Naruto once again. The earth split open, tremors tearing through it, the sky itself trembling as the two behemoths went at one another. "I haven't felt this feeling since Hoshirama," he shouted. The bloodlust fully consumed Naruto, his smile, his hunger. Naruto met Madara blow for a blow as he opened the fifth gate, his skin starting to burn. They smiled as their fists smashed into one another's face. Naruto spun and broke Madara's armor. The Uchiha grabbed him and slammed him down on the ground, kicking him away. He summoned a wall of flames as Naruto kicked right through it, literally. How was that even? Naruto was behind him. Madara ducked. He turned and uppercut Naruto and grabbed him by the throat. However, Naruto kneed him in the face, breaking his nose, tearing his shirt. Madara went through hand sign as massive trees tried to swallow Naruto as he jumped away. However, Naruto spun, creating a powerful typhoon of punches, ripping through the trees like they were nothing. And these were the great trees of the Mokiton. As Tsunade stood there in shock, Gaara arrived, and his people as well. But any of them intervening right now would just run to their death. However, the shocking part was ninjas from the land of lightning. What the hell? Ninjas from Kiri and the stone. Tsunade was confused, but they were here to help. It seems like they came to their senses, realizing the threat that Madara truly was. Every single one of them knew of Naruto. They've heard how great he was, but the mere fact that he was standing up to this monster, they brought armies along with them to face off against this man. They surrounded the borders. Obito flashed away, moving farther into the distance as he observed. This was getting more and more crowded. However, the people had to pull back. Literal typhoons and tornadoes, made from pure friction, started to swell through the entire place. As they heard the laughter, Naruto bloodlusted laughter as he kicked the Susanoo head clean off. It simply dissipating within chakra. In the 7 gates, Naruto's leg came down Madara, sensed his death and jumped away, his heart beating. This rush, Madara let loose and summoned the monstrosity, forcing everyone back with a simple swing. The sky trembled as ninjas were launched away. Too much air current. "Come on, boy," said Madara. "Show me more. Show me the 8 gates." Naruto threw his head back and screamed. Nothing but joy. "Finally," he said, as he opened the 8 gates. Just as Guy had said from the beginning, the more time passed, the more Naruto would become stronger. The very opening of the 8 gates seemed to signal the end of the world. Everything was calm for a moment, and then it was like the world was ending. Naruto moved with such speed. The Susanoo was large, but it wasn't fast. The first blow blew the arm clean off. Madara regenerated though, but Naruto was inside. Madara summoned the force to cover him, but Naruto shattered it with a blow. He didn't stop there as Madara kept on bringing up more to surround his entire body inside. Naruto's fist became a blur as he vigorously punched against it. He then jumped out for fun. He bent himself in a running position. A massive creature seemed to form. No longer a lion. It was a goddamn dragon. Guy stood there shocked. The behemoth, taller than Madara Susanoo. Madara drew the blade and swing, but the dragon beat down. This was just a representation of Naruto's power. Naruto kicked through the Susanoo, shattering every part of it. His blow shattered Madara's spine, breaking through it and launching him away. The explosion when he hit the ground. Everyone shocked. The leaders all stood there, except for the Raikage. Well, he had woken up and given the orders for them to go. But he wasn't here, he was still badly injured. They couldn't believe it. As Naruto dropped from the sky like a meteor, Madara lay on the ground, his spine broken. He could not move. Madara was smiling, though, even as blood trickled down his face. You are no human, he said, as Naruto raised his fists. Remember that in your grave. However, Madara pushed up with every ounce of strength that he had. His Susanoo surrounded Naruto, but it was much weaker. But it wrapped around Naruto though. You think this can hold me? Naruto said, loving the fact that he was still trying. It was the bloodlust. However, Madara smiled. The ground beneath them break open as the both of them were swallowed. Screams erupted from the other side. Temari watched the Gedo statue swallowing Naruto, chains in its mouth, pulling him in. The single moment, the single second, Guy came down like a meteor. Zetsu jumped away in the body of Nagato. He summoned it. Guy attacked as Zetsu released the almighty push, blowing them away. The next moment, everyone rushed in to stop it, to pry the mouth open, but Naruto was spat out, no longer within his 8 gates. Temari rushed to his side. Naruto, Naruto, she said. However, as she checked his pulse, there was nothing. Tsunade rushed over. She placed her head down, listening. Nothing. She sliced his side with medical ninjutsu scalpels. She tried to manually pump his heart, but she was getting nothing. Everyone watched as the Gedo statue was pulled inside. They watched as it turned into a black cocoon before it shattered as he emerged. Madara was no longer the same. The Nine Tails was sucked out of Naruto. His eyes were different. His hair, his body. He ascended. He stepped forward, his spine being fixed. He was essentially immortal. He looked down towards the dead body of Naruto. I have to say, he was stronger than me. Was, Madara said. Perhaps even greater than Hoshirama himself. Truly, amazing that he could reach this by himself. But my plans cannot fail. Temari pulled her fan as she started to swing. You took everything away from me, she said. However, he simply knocked her Winjutsu aside, but she did not stop. It felt hopeless. Sensors could not even sense what he became. He hovered into the sky as Temari. She was relentless. Have solace in knowing that, in my world, you will have him again, said Madara. As he looked down towards her, she jumped up in the air. No fear as she struck him with her fan. But he simply gripped her by the throat. Meanwhile, Naruto opened his eyes in a barren land. No voices, no sounds. Until, pathetic. He looked to his left to see himself, all riled up and angry. As he then felt and turned to see himself again, all calm. What's going on? You're pathetic. The angry one spoke up. Naruto could immediately tell. This was it. The hunger for battle. And that was the part of him that he failed to accept, calm. Naruto looked towards them. So I lost. Not truly. The calm one spoke up. You can still fight. You just have to open your eyes. The Nine Tails was removed. So what? The hunger spoke up. Don't act like your body is the same as all others. Do you really believe that simply removing the tail beast from you could kill you? How stupid can you be? Even if his power has eclipsed mine, said Naruto. That's where you're wrong. Why did you stop? Calm spoke up. Naruto knew exactly what he meant. Flashback. I can't do it, said Naruto. I'm surprised, Jiraiya said. I never heard you say something like that. It was the first thing that Naruto never truly get a hold of that wasn't chakra base. Ultra instinct. He trained, but no matter what, he simply couldn't calm his mind enough. I failed, Naruto said, as he looked towards the two of them. You failed. Then what was that recently? What are you talking about? The hunger. You accept it. That is what was your problem. You never truly accept that part of you. You learned this some time ago, didn't you? Ultra instinct is not just a move. It's not simply a technique. You travel with Jiraiya. You saw the ancient scrolls and those that spoke about it. The teaching of that one man who lived so many years ago. Allowing your body to react. But it isn't just that now, is it? It's transcending. Being on another level, where the whole world is a canvas, and your body can paint it without even moving. It is your failure to accept your hunger, which made you fail. But things are different now. For those that you love, you're willing to accept it all. Hunger stepped towards him. Don't die like some coward. We promised ourselves a long time ago that we would never fail again. So don't you dare. He struck Naruto in the face and vanished. Calm then stepped towards him. He can be that way sometimes. Now open your eyes. Your body is in shock. Allow your brain to awaken it. In the far distance, Naruto saw two people. A man with blonde hair and a woman with red hair smiling at him. He smiled back. In the outside world, Tsunade felt it. His heart beating on its own. She slipped her hand out as Naruto pulled himself up. Impossible, she said. Meanwhile, Temari accepted her fate. She was going to die. They couldn't stop him. At least she would be by. Open your eyes. She blinked. Madara himself looked at his grip where she was gone. Naruto? She hugged and kissed him. No hesitation. How are you alive? She said. I'm special, said Naruto. Come on, you know this. She cried tears of joy. I made you a promise, and I don't intend on breaking that. It's gonna be alright now. I will not lose. He said, setting her down. Be careful, she said. I will. What have you done? Said Madara. As Naruto's presence was different. He gazed towards him. I learned something a long time ago, but I never truly understood it or control it. Because I didn't know how to. But you helped me, said Naruto. Accepting this part of myself. Naruto took a breath as a white aura emanated from every part of him. It went all the way up into the clouds, followed by a red aura. They did not clash, they mixed together. As Naruto calmed himself, Naruto here stood on edge, fluttering, crimson and white. His eyes clear, his body glistening with so much power. All the negativity from the Ten Tails chakra was dissipated, clear in the sky. All that dreadful feeling of hopelessness vanishing away. Madara was stunned. He never seen it before, but he heard about it. A teaching that was passed down by the sage himself. More than just a technique. A way of true acceptance. He read old totems. However, it said that no one of this day and age could ever accept it because they lack the body, the life force, the true power to wield it. Was this it? The famous Ultra Instinct? But it merged with the 8 gates. What have you become, said Madara. I'm not quite sure. I can't really call it the Ultra Instinct or the 8 inner gates. Maybe something new. Maybe a new gate. Skipping beyond 9. The 10th gate, said Naruto. Beyond anything. Beyond life, beyond death. Balance. Strength and stillness. Madara descended. It doesn't matter. It won't help you, he said, lashing out. But Naruto merely turned without looking at him. What the? Madara formed a weapon from the Truth Seeker orbs and started to lash out. But it did not matter how fast he swing or how hard he swing. He couldn't touch Naruto. He fired 3 of the Truth Seeker orbs. Naruto dodged 2 and grabbed one of them. Impossible. Madara said as Naruto squeezed it and broke it into nothingness. Naruto appeared and hit him in the stomach. It seemed so easy and light, and yet Madara was knocked halfway across the continent, slamming through a mountain, crashing through another. Naruto appeared before him. Madara roared. His newfound power, he was unstoppable. He launched multiple attacks glowing from the truth-seeking orbs. Naruto dodged every single one of them. Madara stepped forward and created a miniature tail beast bomb that it went nuclear. Naruto raised his hand. He split it in half. The friction of his force tearing the clouds in the sky as well. Madara appeared behind him with a bone-breaking kick, but Naruto ducked. The Uchiha was stunned. Naruto turned and hit him 3 times, but Madara did not see it. His body twisted and folded. Each of the blows seemed to sting inside. Blood burst from his lips. No, not like this. I refuse to accept this fate. I am the 10 Tails Jinchuriki. I have become immortal. I have become a god. I have surpassed the Sage of Six Paths himself. I will not fall to you. He started to tap into that beastly side of the 10 Tails. Massive tails emerging. A single one of them enough to level villages. But Naruto dodged and evaded all of them. You've done enough. You've harmed enough. I'll send you back to the grave where you belong. You think you can kill me, Madara said. You foolish child. Naruto tilted as Madara was stunned. Impossible. His limbo clones should not be seen, but Naruto could feel their attacks coming. Naruto held his hand out, grabbing 2 arms, smashing them together, kicking them away. Naruto then vanished. Madara looked around as hundreds of Naruto appeared. He thrust his hand out as electricity tore through them, but these weren't clones. Naruto could use chakra. So what? No, that's in. Madara then saw it. He was simply moving that fast. He then felt it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The number kept on climbing. It was the blows that Naruto were giving him. The horn cracked and shattered into pieces. Blood flew from his mouth. His body could touch neither ground nor sky up above. Every blow keeping him in the center. The final one seemed to bend the very ear itself. He hit the ground like a cannon, ripping it to shreds. Madara picked himself up. It doesn't matter what you do. I am immortal, and you cannot. He dropped to his knees, spitting up blood. What is this? What did you do? He said. I told you, I'm the balance between life and death itself. You think, just because you claim to be immortal, that I can't kill you. For the first time since the battle started, fear actually showed in Madara's eyes. He picked himself up and let loose, releasing the screech of the 10 tails. He wiped away the entire location. It was a good thing they had moved. However, when the smoke and dust cleared, Naruto's arms were crossed in front of his face. All he received was a few scratches. Naruto's feet barely moved as Madara tried to block, but Naruto grabbed the Truth Seeker orb and threw it away, and punched right through him. As a literal force, formed a dragon, but this time it was white and red. It tore through Madara and brought him into the sky as it split him in two. He tried to reconnect his body, but Naruto appeared and kicked him like a ball. His upper half hit the ground. I told you, said Naruto. I'm gonna send you back where you belong. Naruto pulled both of his fists upwards. Madara summoned the truth-seeking orbs and formed a cocoon around himself as Naruto muttered 10 inner gates. Fists of life and death. With each blow that he threw, there was a spiritual shockwave that seemed to resonate from the very ear itself. Madara tried to withstand it, but it started to crack until it shattered. The first one seemed to tear his very soul in. It went beyond the flesh. The others were just brutality. Naruto did not stop. He kept on going, even as Madara screamed. I had it. How could I have failed? He thought to himself as Naruto rained blows upon his lower half and his top half. Naruto created a new valley entirely. The blows, tearing Madara every single cell, every fragment of him to sunders. He did not stop until nothing remained. He snuffed him out of reality. As Naruto stood there drawing in deep breaths, surprised at how much that took out of him. Those weren't normal fists. Yes, they could hurt the normal flesh, but Naruto was knocking Madara's life force out of him. Without his life force, he could not restore his body. So immortality or not, Naruto can kill the unkillable. Naruto dropped down to the ground, taking deep breaths. That is when someone appeared behind him. The rod slipped through Naruto's back, ripping through his heart. Obito stood behind Naruto. If his plans were going to be a future success, he had to die. Blood flew from Naruto's mouth until Naruto punched his fist through Obito's chest. How? He said, shocked, confused. A technique I learned from Guy. I shift my organs, Naruto said. I knew that you were watching, and I realized that if I were going to touch you, you have to touch me. Naruto said as he had turned so fast the rod had break inside of his chest. But it didn't matter, it did not hit his heart. He looked towards Obito, his hand clean through his back. Obito fell, collapsing beside him, his mask on his face. Naruto fell down, bleeding. Despite not stabbing his heart, his body reached its limit. This was the first time he entered this mode. And this took a lot out of him, just like when he first entered the 8 gates. As he lay there, he heard her voice. However, he blacked out. Time skip. Naruto opened his eyes. The moment he did, he heard something fell as someone ran outside. It was a nurse. However, moments later, Temari rushed inside, her hair frazzled. The look on her face. Naruto smiled at her. What's going on? He said. You're awake, she said. She was crying. She held him. His body felt sore, stiff. Naruto noticed the machines all over. She proceeded to explain to him that he was unconscious for 3 months. It was touch and go there. Tsunade saying that no one should have survived what he survived. His body was pushed to another level that shouldn't be possible, but once again, he did the impossible. I told you, I wouldn't. She cut him off as she kissed him. She told him everything. They destroyed the other fiend that was with Madara. While he was strong, he could not take all of them. Guy was the one that tore him apart. Oh, and there was a big deal with the masked man that you killed. Seems he was, once, a comrade of Kakashi. As Naruto sat there, his body still felt weak even after 3 months. She made him promise to never do that again. She was so worried. I promise, said Naruto. I'll never leave you ever again. Time skip. The people cheered his name. They saw him as a hero. Even walking down the street was now a hassle. It wasn't just here. Across nations. This single battle had changed a lot. The mere fact that they were all able to come together. The tail beasts were gone. When Naruto destroyed Madara, he destroyed the tail beasts. As of right now, there was nothing in the world that was stronger than Naruto. He could be the greatest deterrent there ever is. However, Konoha had shown that it wanted peace by sending word to everyone before Madara even struck. Naruto stood with Temari, overlooking his village, as he held her in his arms. I don't ever want to be apart away from you, he said. As he wanted her to be his, and he wanted to be hers. He was never shy about his emotions. As she realized what he was saying, You want to marry me, she said. Well, I would like to make it more than this. Yes, she said. No hesitation. And I'll say yes when you ask again, she said. As they shared a loving kiss. However, far away. Flashback. When Naruto and Madara were going at it. When Naruto was releasing punches that were tearing the fabric of space itself. Far away from the elemental nation. Two beings were feeling it. Across. From so far. Another emerged with a strange fishing rod. It seems things are getting more interesting, he said, as he looked down towards the other two. But guys, we end this episode right here. This is a finale, but don't worry, I'll do a movie for a future time skip, guys. Yes, I'll do a movie, so look out for that. Where years pass by, children are born, and yeah. And I'll add in the Osusuke threat. Something grand, something much more powerful, okay? So yeah, but the series is going to end right here. I hope you guys enjoy, but I'm out for now. Peace.